Hi guys, so this is my pistol dagger condition thief video. Basically I'm going to go through a few things in this video. I'm going to go through what gear to use, what traits to use, what skills to use. I'm also going to show gameplay and explain what food to take. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go into is the gear. I'm using full ascended, but I must state that you can actually do this with exotic, so don't be put off by the fact it's ascended if you haven't got the time or the money to put into it. This is still an expensive build to make up, but it's really worth it. So for my gear, I have full dire, so I have full dire armor, full dire weapons, and I have full dire trinkets. So for my armor, I'm using Superior Rune of Perplexity, which gives us a plus on condition damage and confusion duration. And on the 4th, it also gives us a 25% chance when struck to inflict 3 stacks of confusion for 5 seconds. And on the 6th, it gives us a plus 20% confusion duration. When you interrupt a foe, cause 5 stacks of confusion for 8 seconds. On my pistol, I have Superior Sigil of Malice, which gives us a plus 10% condition duration. And on my dagger, I have Superior Sigil of Agony, increase inflicted bleed duration by 20%. And I'm taking a short bow on my second weapon. And as you see on my short bow, I have Superior Sigil of Geomancy, which inflicts bleeding on nearby foes for 10 seconds when you swap to this weapon. And Superior Sigil of Corruption. Gain a charge of plus 10 condition damage each time you kill a foe. So this is absolutely brilliant to have on the short bow, because the attack on the short bow, the number 1 skill, actually bounces an arrow between multiple targets. So if you use this with the Sigil of Corruption, if you're zerging and you use this, you can actually get a 25 stack really fast. So if you do this before roaming, it will give you a full 25 stack, which is effectively another plus 250 condition damage. That alongside this, which you need to use for your food, which is a rare veggie pizza, which gives you a plus 70 condition damage and a plus 40% condition duration. This, as well as, if you go into here, I have God Killer maxed out. This actually stacks 5 times, and it says it applies strength, so it increases power and condition damage by 20, and it gives you a stack of 5 of this. So if you use this alongside your corruption and use this food, you can get well over 2000 condition damage easy. And I'll actually show you later on in the video a video of me in World v World with the maxed out stats, but on that video I'm not actually using a rare veggie pizza, I'm using a different veggie pizza, so the stats would actually be higher using this. Okay, so I'm going to go into my traits. We have 2 in Deadly Arts, 6 in Shadow Arts, and 6 in Trickery. For the first one, in Deadly Arts, we have Serpent's Touch, stealing inflicts poison. Then we have Mug, deal damage and gain life when stealing. This attack cannot critically hit enemies. We have Last Refuge, use blinding powder when your health reaches a certain threshold. We have Shadow's Embrace, remove conditions periodically while in stealth. We don't actually have access to a lot of condition removal in this build, other than this and the hide in shadows. But what actually happens is, because during the fight we're going to be going into stealth an awful lot, we're going to be removing conditions constantly. We have Meld with Shadows, stealth skills last longer, so this is going to give us more time in stealth, which is going to let us reset and let those conditions tick down whilst we're not in the thick of it. We're going to have Infusion of Shadow, gain initiative when you enter stealth. Hidden Assassin, gain might when you gain stealth. So every time we're going to go into stealth, we're going to get another 70 condition damage. We've got Shadow's Rejuvenation, Regenerate health while in stealth. So during the fight, we're going to be entering stealth a lot, removing conditions, we're going to be healing, and it's really going to help us survive during a fight. We have Kleptomaniac. Stealing gives you initiative. And we have Uncatchable. So leave behind caltrops when you dodge. This is brilliant because if we're fighting warriors or guardians or people that are going to be coming after us, we're going to be able to roll, we're going to be able to leave caltrops, which is going to cripple them, and it's also going to help stack our bleeds. We've got Preparedness, so increase maximum initiative by 3. This is really good, as during the fight we're going to be using Cloak and Dagger an awful lot to maintain our stealths. We're going to be doing Cloak and Dagger, and we're going to be using Sneak Attack. So you see there, Cloak and Dagger actually uses 6 initiative, so the more initiative we have, the easier we're going to be able to pull these off in a fight. We have Bountiful Theft. Stealing grants you and all nearby allies vigor. You rip boons from your target and grant them to nearby allies. We have Lead Attacks. Increases damage per initiative. And we have Bewildering Ambush. Stealing also applies confusion. And this is great because we're effectively going to be using our confusion, our torment and our bleeds to really get those big ticks on people and really strip their health down. So the skills we're going to be using is our Steal. You can see this, it heals, it removes boons, it damages the target, it also inflicts 12 seconds of poison on its own, it gives us vigor, and it applies confusion. We've obviously got our Vital Shot and our Sneak Attack. We're going to use Vital Shot to maintain our bleeds during a fight, and then when we get the chance to, we're going to be using Cloak and Dagger to enter stealth and inflict vulnerability, and then we're going to be using Sneak Attack to apply a big stack of bleeds in one go, and then we're going to continue to maintain them with Vital Shot. Now, we do have a lot of skills on here. I do use Dancing Dagger. If someone's trying to run away, I will throw this and it will cripple them, and it will allow me to basically chase after them, as we don't have access to a vast amount of movement speed. During a fight, in order to maintain distance between me and the target, what I'll use Shadow Strike. So you stab your foe, then Shadow Step away and shoot them. This inflicts Torment, which is going to continue to stack our Torment as well. So we're going to be using Cloak and Dagger and Sneak Attack and our Vital Shot. So we're going to be inflicting bleeds of vulnerability. We're going to be using Shadow Strike for our Torment. Before we enter a fight, I'm going to put my Venoms on. So my Venoms, I have Scale Venom. So I'm going to inflict vulnerability and Torment. And then I have Basilisk Venom. And this is going to turn them to stones. This is going to allow us, for the first initial burst, to put on our conditions basically without the chance of being attacked back. So it's really, really good. So we're going to put our Venoms down, and then we're going to use Cloak and Dagger and Steal, and that's going to get, although this is got to be done within a short range, if we actually hit this and Steal, it's going to get us close to the target enough to actually use the Cloak and Dagger, and then it's going to apply our conditions with our Steal, but will then be put into stealth, at which point we're going to want to roll back and evade, and that's going to leave them in caltrops, so inflict more bleeds. We're then going to run forward whilst using Sneak Attack and apply a greater stack of bleeds, and then to get us then out of the attack range, we're going to use Shadow Strike, and that's going to Shadow Step us away whilst leaving them with more Torment. By doing this combo correctly, you're going to be able to inflict a massive amount of conditions, and then you're also then going to be out of the fight to where you can just maintain yourself and continue to just use Vital Shot to keep the bleeds going. And then for my heal, I have Hide in Shadows. This is going to give us access to another stealth if we need it, and then I use Shadow Step and Shadow Return as well. This is also a condition removal, but I use this mainly as a stun break or to control someone in a fight. So if someone's running at me, I'll continue to attack them. I will then use this to Shadow Step away, but I'll usually do it behind the target, so that way I continue to attack them. As they come running at me again, I will use Shadow Return, so I go back to my original location, and it effectively lets us create more chaos during the fight and allow us to have more control over the person we're fighting. I have a Shadow's Refuge. This is going to give us access to a long duration of stealth, and this is really great if we are in trouble in a fight. We can drop this. It will allow us a chance to heal, our cooldowns to happen, and allow us to get back into the fight uncompromised basically. So that's the skills that I use, and I will drop into PvP now and show you my PvP setup as well as how to use the skills in battle. Okay guys, so we're in PvP. So as you can see, the skills haven't changed an awful lot, but I have changed to caltrops for my number 9 skill. This is because if you're running to a point and you drop caltrops and use your burst, it's going to make it hard for the opponent to basically stay on point whilst fighting you. And also, because of our rune set, we're going to actually be doing more damage for our bleeds in PvP. We don't actually have access to the Rune of Perplexity in PvP, so what we have instead is we have Runes of the Crate. So this is going to give us more condition damage, but it's also going to give us a higher bleed duration. So bleeds are effectively going to be our main source of damage for our conditions. As you can see, we have the Carrion Amulet as our amulet in PvP. We're still going to use the short bow, and we're still going to use the revolver and the dagger. I have the Sigil of Energy, so it's going to allow us to keep rolling and keep putting down more caltrops. It's going to give us more bleeds. I have the Sigil of Agony, which increases inflicted bleed duration, and then on the short bow I have Sigil of Energy again, so again we can roll more. And then I have the Sigil of Corruption, so we can stack for our condition damage. And that's basically it. That's what we're using in PvP. The traits are exactly the same as before. There's no difference in traits. It's purely just the runes that change, and obviously we're going to be using the Carrion Amulet, and then that one skill changes. That is all. Okay, so first of all, with our skills, I'm going to show you how to do the initial burst onto someone. So what we're going to do is, when we enter a fight, we're going to use our Basilisk Venom. At that point we're going to use Cloak and Dagger. Although we're not within range for Cloak and Dagger, we're going to hit Cloak and Dagger. As soon as we've hit this, we're going to hit Steel, and that's going to get us within range for the Cloak and Dagger. When we've actually done our Steel, we're going to be in Stealth, at which point I'm going to roll back and leave caltrops. Because that doesn't class as an attack, I'm still going to maintain my stealth. Then I'm going to run forward using my sneak attack, inflicting more bleeds, at which point I'm going to use 3, which is Shadow Strike, and that's going to get us out of the fight and leave them with an absolutely massive stack of conditions. So I use 0, 5, F1, back, do that, bam. See that? Look at all those conditions. And then I'm just going to use Vital Shot to control the fight at a distance. Huge damage, absolutely huge damage. And the thing was, he wasn't using any skills or moving, so if he actually was, he'd have took a lot more damage through Torment and Confusion. So if he had been, he'd have been dead a lot sooner. So that's our initial burst. And then also what we're going to be doing between bursts is just using our Vital Shot to maintain our conditions during the fight, and we're going to be using Cloak and Dagger to maintain our survivability in a fight. And then also we're going to be rolling, and this is going to be leaving more bleeds on the target. Again, as I stated before, if we're attacking a point, I'm going to drop my caltrops first, and this is so when a target's trying to take point, for instance say this circles the point, he's not going to be able to stand there for very long unless he wants to take a huge amount of bleed damage. So I drop my caltrops, I put my venoms on, I burst him. See, absolutely insane damage. So this is what we're going to be doing in a fight, and then like I stated before, in order to maintain our survivability through our high vitality and toughness as well, we're going to be using our stealths and this is what's going to keep us alive during a fight. And then we're just going to be using our vital shots like this, and then if too close to us we're going to use 3, shadow step away and put torment on them, and then when we can we're going to use our bursts. This is really going to help to cause a massive amount of confusion on the fight, a huge amount of condition damage, and it's really going to help us stay alive as well by maintaining our inaccessibility through stealth, so they're not going to know where we are, and then we're going to be using our sneak attacks to give us a huge amount of bleeds even if they've just cleansed, and because of our sigils we're able to stack a lot of bleeds just through our number 1 skill. You see this? Just auto attacking him to death. Makes it a really good build in a fight. And then obviously we've got our bursts as well to use, so we're going to be inflicting a lot of conditions, and it's actually a really good build to use. I find it difficult to find anyone who can take this build on. Now and again there are some superior that might down you, but as a whole this is a really good build in a fight, and it takes a really good player to take you down really. A lot of people will say it's a cheese build, but you know, I say it's not easy being cheesy, so you know, each to his own, and I like playing this build. So like I said before, you can do your bleeds, roll out, put your venoms on, shoot in, out, see that? Loads of conditions, and he's dead in seconds. It's a really good build. So that's effectively all there is to it in using the skills. It's not a complicated build to use, it really isn't. You just use your bursts and your cloak and dagger and your sneak attack and your vital shot to stay alive during the fight, and then if they get too close you just use shadow strike to step out. So you can see that shadow strike, and I've created quite a large map distance between me and the person, and obviously if they are still chasing you, you can roll, leave your cow traps, and this is going to make them crippled, so it's really going to be difficult for them to get you in a fight. And also a lot of people don't have the condition cleanse in order to actually remove the amount of conditions you're going to be putting down on people. So that's basically all there is to it as far as skills go. On my short bow, as I stated before, you have bouncing shot. You saw that? It bounces between targets, and it helps really when you're trying to stack your sigils. And then also, whilst you're zerging in World v World or what have you, you can use your choking gas and your cluster bomb. Those just help stack your poisons and stack your bleeds. And again, use your infiltrator's arrow if you feel like you're struggling or they've got the upper hand on you. You can basically use 3 to get away. And then you can, because we don't have access to a lot of movement speed, we can use our infiltrator's arrow to create some distance between us and the target. So it gives us more chance to reset during a fight. And that's all there is to it really with the skills. I'm going to attach a video of me PvPing against a warrior to show me using it in an actual fight. So it's not just me telling you how to use it. There's evidence of how it works in an actual fight. So I'll attach that to this video and you can watch that next.
Clock tower captured. Enemy captured the clock tower. I'm bleeding. For great justice. Clock tower captured. Low on the turrets.
Never felt better.
So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment below, and I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll be releasing more videos in the future. So till then, see you later.